Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Success Builders. So today we have with us Grigory Agrest. How are you doing, Grigory?
Hi, everybody. How's it going? Pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me on.
Fantastic, nice to have you. So where are you calling in from?
So I'm actually on the other side. I'm in New York City, United States.
Cool, on the other side of the ocean.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but the main city, that's where all the action happens, man.
I guess it's a city that never sleeps, so literally, right?
Which is the one that they refer to as the Big Apple. Is that New York?
Big Apple is really interesting. You have the major neighborhoods. I'm one of the Big Apple cities, right? Somebody's going to say, "Oh, I'm from Albany." That's not the Big Apple. That's the New York State. I'm
Okay.
actually in Brooklyn. I think the third most expensive city in the world right now to live in. So
Okay.
we have Manhattan, we have Staten Island, we have Bronx, we have Queens, and of course we have Brooklyn. Ever heard of Nathan's? Where
No.
they do the hot dog eating contest. So July 4th is the United States Independence Day. So the Nathans that they run the hot dog, that's actually where I live,
Oh,
right
okay,
by there.
cool. Do you know why they actually called it the Big Apple? I actually don't know why.
You know what? That's a good question. It's not really anything that we do, just like I guess it fits as an apple, like different
Uh,
slices, different pieces. So that's what I'm
I
thinking.
lost. I think I lost
Yeah, I,
ChatGPT
I
after the call. I'm
yeah,
actually
I
quite
was
interested now.
literally gonna say that. Like, let's Google what ChatGPT it. Yeah, nah.
Yeah,
Ask,
I know, cool, man.
ask somebody from New York about the touristy stuff. They have no clue.
Cool. So, I believe that you do several things. So, you're a coach, and a coach in a few different spaces. In fact, you're a college coach, career coach, and you also coach. Was it athletics at school? Or, yeah, yeah.
So I coach at the college level, actually. I've done pretty much every single level there is at this point at the coaching level, except for the professional. Unfortunately, there's no professional volleyball. I'm a volleyball coach for women's volleyball. I've done JV, I've done varsity, I've done club, I've done Division 3, and I've done Division 1. So
Okay,
I've been coaching for over 20 years in that capacity, and that's actually one of the things that spearheaded my desire to be a life coach and a
fantastic.
career advisor. Yeah.
Cool. So just take us through a bit of your journey. Like, where did it all start?
So I guess it started in the gym, and I was very lucky because my dad is a volleyball coach. So I kind of got to, by no fault of my own, dragged into it, kicking and screaming, and I've been doing it for 20 years, and I guess I'm still in it.
Okay.
But ever since I was little, he always took me to practices. So I guess I grew up in that. And then when I get a little bit older, he's like, "Oh, you're going to be, you're going to be playing." And unfortunately, like my high school didn't really have a team, which is kind of weird to think about. But I started my coaching journey at the age of 16. So by 19, I was already a head coach, and there was something called Maccabee Games. I don't know if you ever heard of those or not. So they're international Jewish Olympics in a way.
Right.
So you actually have Olympics coming in from all different parts of the world, and they get together and they play games every 4 years, and you have every year in the United States. So I kind of got involved with that. Man, I never looked back. It's a lot of headache. It's an ungrateful sport, as you can say it, because like, why is my daughter not playing? Why is there's all those emphasis that you have to deal with. But at the end of the day, you learn so much from the players and people around you. And my dad was luckily a very knowledgeable coach, so he wound up coaching at the different levels himself. And me being the tail that I was from one and a half, following him into the gym, I kind of continued doing it. And in that regard, I kind of learned that I love what I do. And my actual thing that I wanted to do was recruit.
Okay.
And, we actually were not born in the United States. I'm an immigrant. We immigrated from Russia in 1996. And me being kind of brought up here, I have less with an accent than he does. So it was natural for me to kind of relay the message. So it was like, oh, okay. I'm going to use Greg because he has pretty decent English. And then I'm going to do the coaching. You'll be doing the talking. So it became like kind of a nice and dynamic duo. And that progressed. And here I am, like 20 years later, still in recruiting and still enjoying it.
That's so good. And I really love that you have so much experience in the industry and that it's actually passed down from your dad and everything because there's a bit of an epidemic going on in the coaching industry right now where everyone's trying to become a coach and they've been a coach for all of 5 minutes. And that's a little bit scary in some sense because, you know, how much experience or qualification do they have if they're just taking a master class and becoming a coach? All right. And so this is where you really stand out is you've got the real experience for many years, even from your family. So that's amazing. Yeah.
I really love that you pointed that out, man. You hit the nail on the coffin. Like, oh my God, we're looking at just the general direction that coaching is heading. Everybody is, as you said, is a coach. Oh, I'm going to be a master. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. What they don't realize is that they're chasing money.
Mm.
Real coaching is not about chasing money. Real coaching is chasing the dream. It's the road, right? As you pointed out, dream big, build bigger, man. I love that. Like I saw that, I'm like, oh man, that this is the message. This is the real deal, because it's not built overnight. And it takes a lot of hard work. It's like the whole adage where you see the beautiful ballet dancer. You don't
Hmm.
see the bloody toes. You don't see the messed up feet. You don't see the rolled ankles and the hours of sweat
Oh,
pouring down.
yeah.
You see the final product. And that's what everybody wants to chase. Oh, I want to get this kid in. I want to get this person there. Nah, that's not how it works. You gotta sweat, you gotta dream, and you gotta make, you're gonna have your scrapes and your own bruises as well. Has it always been successful? Absolutely not. I'm gonna lie to your face if I tell you it is. Is it a lot of hard work? Yeah. 16, 18-hour days, sometimes not sleeping because like you have deadlines and you actually have people relying on you. And when you don't get them the dream, this is where you also are going to be there. You have to be there for them to pick them back up, be like, because, hey, listen, we just did this, all of this work, and the door was shut in our face. And this is where, you go back to the lab, you go back to the drawing board, and you start over. And
That's
that's what
right.
a lot of people don't realize that they need to do, and they just simply can't because of the lack of the experience.
That's right. And that's the difference with you because you have the experience. You got experience from your family as well. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's gonna be hard to beat that. It really is. Um,
yeah, I'm lucky in that regard for sure.
yeah, that's cool. And tell the audience like what does your typical day look like? Like I know you have a few facets of coaching, so how do you fit it in? How does it look exactly?
So, my actual profession is I'm an educator. I'm a teacher, and we all know how much teachers make, right? So I chose another couple of jobs that makes even less than that to kind of fill in the normal salary. But there was a wonderful old saying that find a job where you don't feel like work, so it never feels like work. Do I get tired? Absolutely. But every day you're making connections, every day you're meeting new people, and you do learn from others as much as they learn from you, hopefully. So it's an evolution. As you know, as to point out what my day looks like, it's pretty crazy. I usually work 6 or 7 days a week, depending on my quote unquote season. It's never really an off season because the off season flows into a new season. So I chose teaching because I feel like I can have a much bigger audience, and I kind of like you can really make a difference. And I've had kids come back to me like for 10 years, 12 years down the road, be like, oh, I remember when you talked about this and it really helped out. So like it really is validating. So that's my actual full-time job. And I do that. So wake up around 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, out the door by 6:30, depending if I wake up on time or not, but usually I do. 6:30 in the morning, and I don't get home till about 11, 12. Luckily, we have something called Zoom, right? Ever heard of that one?
Yeah, you're on it right
So,
now.
oh, wow, shock. I wouldn't have guessed. Right. So, I have clients all over the world and different countries, different states. And, that kind of really helped me out in the last few years that developed. COVID really helped that. I was old school. I refused to do Zoom. I was like, who's going to do that? But then I was kind of forced to open up, and a lot of my clients moved. They went from New York, they went to Jersey, they went to Florida, they went to Georgia. And I'm like, well, it's either I adapt and evolve or I'm done. So that kind of forced me to evolve, but that also evolved my schedule. So I'm on time, on call 24/7 and pretty much at different times. So yeah,
Yeah.
so it never ends. It never ends. I get a text message at 2 o'clock in the morning. It's like, oh my God, I have a test coming up. I really need you. I'm like, what are we doing here? Okay, well, all right, let's help you out here. So yeah, yeah, pretty much 6, 7 days a week. Do I take time off? Yeah, you need to because the burnout is crazy, and we need
Yes.
to recharge. We need to have the batteries full.
Right. And
So.
so your coaching, that's not the one associated with the actual college coaching, but your private coaching.
Mhm.
Um, what does that look like? Like what sort of program do you do? How do your sessions look? You just take us through that.
So everything is individualized. I'm not here to chase money. I'm here to chase success. Money will come, right? It will eventually come. Yeah, the success builders, exactly, man. I'm telling you, like like there was like this vibe that I got from you. I'm like, oh, I gotta reach out to this guy because like I feel I can resonate with him. So like different vibrations, man. So this is it.
So good.
Yeah, yeah. So the idea is to build a genuine connection. Depending on what the person needs. Some people come to me and they want to change their careers. Some people are immigrants just like me, and they're like, "Oh man, I really need your help. I know you know how to do this because you've been through it." I was lucky enough to come to an age where I was kind of able to keep the Russian heritage in the background while being building on the American culture and English and education. So I kind of have the best of both worlds in a way. So it's really lucky for me in that regard. And we see what they want to do. So if they want to become a certain life-changing career, or we talk about what the different options are. We talk about what they were doing before like measuring their strengths, being able to find what they're good at, and kind of highlighting that. The other aspect is I love working with young adults, seniors, juniors in high school that are trying to find themselves. And one of the things that I love to do is find the right school for them. Finding the college, helping them with the application process, helping them dream big. And one of the things that I've done over the last, I would say, 7 to 10 years, I've gotten kids into amazing colleges with very not amazing grades. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about like, hey, you have a 65, you're going Ivy League. Come on, let's be real. But some of my success stories involve getting kids into like Cornell, right? NYU, Columbia, Harvard, with grades that they never thought of possible. And that's the dream big thing, right? So you wanna
So good.
you wanna bring yourself up to the level where you are not afraid to fail. And is it gonna happen? You're taking a lottery chance, man. You can't win the lottery without buying the ticket. So I'm trying to help them understand that investing in their future, buying that ticket is worth more than potentially failing. Everybody's afraid of failure, but now I'm not. Everybody is going to succeed if they don't try, right? So
Good.
I believe it was Wayne Gretzky who said, "If you don't take the shot, you already failed," right? So
That's true. Yeah. I mean, you're already ahead of everybody who hasn't taken a shot. There's
yeah, exactly.
there's also another saying that goes, in order to be successful, um, you have to do the things that others won't do in order to have what they won't have. So
For sure.
you just have to show up. I mean, like half people don't show up, man. It's just like,
Yeah, man. Oh my God. And this is like another thing, like this generation is doesn't want to show up. And this is
yeah,
the other I'm trying to do. Like, man, I'm trying to motivate you. Like, hey, show up. Oh, you work so many hours, you're doing so many things. How do you do it? I'm like, because I want to. Like, I want to be somebody, man. I want to leave a legacy behind. My idea is not what you're going to do now, but what happens when you're gone? What have you done? What difference have you made? Ever heard of Schindler's List?
yes, yes, yes.
save one life and you save more mankind, right? So that is pretty much where I'm trying to do. Like, I'm trying to change a life so that way I'm leaving a legacy behind, right? You trying to better not just yourself, but those around you. And when we try to care about people who are not just in your family, when you're making that different impact across the board, that's where the difference is going to line up. And then, that's why I try to do what I try to do. It's not just about, and it's like my wife always goes like, "You're working till like 12 o'clock. When are you going to enjoy life?" I'm like, "Well, what's there to enjoy when there's nothing to enjoy, right?" Like,
Yeah.
I genuinely get excited. Like, I'm like, I had another kid get into an Ivy League, and she goes like, "Well, you didn't get in." I'm like, Like, you don't get it? Like,
You
somebody
you
is
help
going
somebody
to,
else and
right.
like made a
Like, but
difference. Yeah.
like, yeah, man, like for them, this is their lottery ticket, like, right? So, like, for them, oh, this kid is going to college. Their family never went to college. Like, so, like, I'm generally happy for them because we make a difference. And, like, if you ever talk to people and they're excited about what they do, then you'll see exactly what I mean. It's not just about getting the results, it's the process. You gotta love the process. I'm love working with them on their goals or their careers or whatnot. But it's like at the end of the day, hey, did it work? Did we get in? Oh, where did we go in? So like it's like like remember how I said you have different types of seasons. So you have your off season. It's never really off season. We finished the work, but now we're waiting for the results. Like what do we grow? What do we plant? It's the planting season. Okay, now you saw what you reap. So So yeah.
Man, I totally love your vibe. No, that is so good. And it's all about helping people at the end of the day. And there's nothing greater. I mean, I've got on my wall here something that says "Do what you love," and I can see that you love what you do, and
Yeah, man.
that's half the battle won, right?
Do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life.
That's right. And anyone looking for a coach and looking for assistance, they obviously want to come to somebody who's passionate about what they do, and I can see you are passionate, so there's no reason why they
Thank
shouldn't
you. I
come to you.
appreciate it, man. Yeah, I
It's
appreciate it.
awesome. So,
Yeah.
can you break it down for us, like exactly what are your coaching services? Like someone who wants to make it into a college and wants some guidance on how to apply, or do you have, other types of coaching services that you provide as well? Just run us through a bit about it.
Man, I try, like the one-stop shop. So that's what I try to do. And like again, I mentioned it earlier, it's about what the person needs. I'm not a psychologist, but I'm an educator. So I try to read, obviously, what the person requires. I've had people who have been stuck in their ways. Like people who were like, oh man, I'm just so horrible in education. I'll never be anywhere. I mean, I'm never going to amount to anything. I'm like, stop. Why? What is limiting you? And we're working at like, peeling an onion layer by layer by layer. We're trying to get to the bottom of what is limiting them. So when you realize that the only person who is limiting yourself is yourself, then that's when the real success happens. So it's not just coaching per se to get into college, literally a life coach. So my services rely on what that particular person needs. Is it just getting through anxiety? Yeah, been there, done that. Athletic anxiety, sports anxiety, test anxiety, life anxiety. I've had a person, one of my clients, mom came to me and she's like, my daughter just moved from Russia. And that was like, I think 7 or 8 years ago. She won't talk. I'm like, what do you mean she won't talk? She's like, no, she won't talk. And I'm like, okay. And that was summer camp. I'm like, all right, bring her to me. She started talking to me in 3 days. It's
Oh, wow.
finding the approach. They spent a year and a half going to a psychiatrist, psychologist, getting her medication. I'm like, no, no, no. You need to find the approach. And the idea, like I said before, journey, right? You need to find that connection. You need to find the journey, the process. She was talking nonstop. I mean, there was nothing wrong with the kid. She just needed that genuine connection. She was stressed, man. She was stressed. And you going in from a different country, I'm like, well, you're looking from the perspective of an adult. Step back, go to the level of the person. You have somebody coming in, they just lost a job. They're stressed.
Oh yeah.
They don't know where they're, yeah, they don't know what they're going to be doing. Get back to the basics. fundamentals, right? So we need to find that fundamentals. You know how to read? Great. You know how to write? Great. What are your talents? I don't have any. Wrong. Find what makes you tick. What do you enjoy? Oh, you know what? I was able to make cakes when I was younger. Why'd you stop? I needed a job. Dude, you can make $150 a cake right now. Everybody buys them. I had a client build literally a bakery in eighth grade. She was making over $1,200 a week making cakes. You think she needed to go
Crazy.
to school for that? No.
No.
She was in eighth grade. She's like, but everybody don't need to go to college. I'm like, no, 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 no. You need an education. You need to find out what you do, what you love to do, and you need to make it work for you. And this is literally the idea. So, it's not going to college. It's not finding a job. It's a combination of everything and trying to make the whole process, I guess in a way you can say completing the puzzle.
True.
Find that missing piece that's been hiding under the couch or in between the plywood or somewhere under the rug, right? So this is what we're trying to do. We're putting the puzzle back together. And unfortunately, people lose the sight of what they want to accomplish. And actually happened to me as well. Like I forgot what I wanted to do, and I knew what I wanted to do since I was younger. Believe it or not, I was in the military.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like I kind of lost track of time and everybody's chasing, oh, you gotta have a job, you gotta make money. And when you chase that instead of what you love, your life will let you know that you're doing the wrong thing. And I was not a good student. I hated school. And I think one of the main reasons I became a teacher was because, like, hey, I wanted to help the kids love what they need to do. And, it became a whole convoluted, like, tapestry, like a Celtic knot, I guess, and, find that solution. And I figured if I can find myself and get to where I want to be, and, everybody told me, like, you'll be a garbage man. You don't know anything, man. You can't even add two plus two. I'm like, stop it, right? You got to believe in yourself. And I want to be able to build that success and belief in my clients so that they can dream big and so they can build a better future for themselves and others. Yeah, man,
That's
I'm stealing
fantastic.
your thing right over
No, no,
there.
no, that's fine. I love it. I love it when
Yeah,
that's the best form of flattery is when someone mimics what you do, right?
yeah, yeah,
And
man, for sure.
I just want to say something
I,
really interesting that I had this feeling, but I just held back from saying it. But when you're talking about your generational coaching, like how it came from your dad down to you, and I almost said, but I kept quiet. I don't know why I didn't say it. I almost said it's like being in a military family where the father was in the army, then you're in the army, but meantime you've been in the military as well. I should have said it because it would have been perfect.
but I'll tell you another one. You know, like how like we have the whole connection going. How you have the health, wealth, and freedom.
Yeah.
Uh, my brother and I, we have a thing where like whenever we'll hang up, we'll go like, "Hey, I wish you health, wealth, and pursuit of happiness." I was like, the founding
That's
principles.
so
I was
good.
like, wow. I just noticed that. I'm like, I get goosebumps right now, man, because like this is literally like what I've been living
And
for
and
like ever.
that takes me to that epic movie of that Will Smith played in. Wasn't it called In Pursuit of
The pursuit
Happiness?
of yes, and pursuit of happiness, absolutely. Yeah, man, that
Yeah,
was a good movie.
that was
I
so
think it
good.
was. Yeah, it was
That
absolutely.
was basically overcoming all odds, man. I love those underdog movies. They're fantastic.
What's crazy? I resonate
Yeah.
with that because at one point in time I was homeless.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
know if you ever, yeah, Hurricane Sandy, being
I
in New
heard of
York
it, but
City.
yeah.
Yeah.
When was
So,
that?
so that was 2012.
Okay.
October 29th, 28th, 2012. We live in Coney Island, which is literally on the water. We lost everything. Everything. So when I tell you, like, I've been to the bottom of it, like, I literally, pardon my French, sorry audience for the visual, but I had to borrow my brother's underwear because everything else floated away. And, people could have just folded and said, wrap it up, packing it in. I had a kid on the way. He was born in December 28th, 2012. So my wife is 7 months pregnant. We're literally swimming out with waves all around us. I was like, holy crapper.
Dude,
Like,
that's scary.
it's done for. Yeah, yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, my kid is in the way.
It's okay.
He's like, I heard my name. Is that me? I'm like, nope, go away. Yeah. But basically, we were in the. He was, my wife was 7.5 months pregnant, and we decided we just got married recently, right before that. And I'm like, let's take an investment. I'm like, I'm not gonna go in and get into an apartment. My dad owns a house, so we renovated the basement. Everything that I saved up went into that, and just like that, floated away. And I was like, what do I do? Like, what do you do here? And there's just nothing much you can do. You roll up the sleeves, you go back to work. And,
One foot in
you
front of the
build from
other.
strength, one foot in front of the other. We have a saying in Russia, the eyes are scared, but the hands do.
Ah,
And yeah. And like it sounds a little interesting and it can translate it from English, but basically like you have so much crap that you need to get through. But you put your one foot in front of the other, you get your sleeve, roll up your sleeves, and you get to work. And that's exactly what we did. Took me a little while to do, debt, etc. And we had to do what we had to do. So when you have your family relying on you, then the real adrenaline kicks in. I
yes, yes.
think the problem with this generation, and I don't know how it is in New Zealand, but I'm sure it's pretty much across the world right now, is that people did not get through tough times.
Yes.
There's a really old story where uh, tough men create good times. Good times create weak men. Weak men create bad times. Bad times create strong men. And this is what I'm seeing in the precipice right now. We've had it so good, like especially obviously the third world countries do not. They go through strives. Look at Ukraine and Russia right now, right? All the wars going on, Israel and all of that stuff, like Pakistan. You have Palestine. You have all these different strifes all over the world, like North Korea, right? Uh, we have it so good, we don't even realize it. We don't even realize it.
Totally.
Yeah, like right now I'm teaching kids that are coming in from these areas because, they're trying to migrate here. And when they come, you see lost souls and you want to bring that back. No child should have to experience that. And that's where we realize like we're making a difference on a different level. And people tend to lose themselves. And, hopefully, like me being through the experiences that I went through, I mean, we also went through 9/11, right? Because I was in the center of
Oh,
it pretty
yes,
much.
yes, yes. Right.
Yeah, so like like I've seen a lot of different things. Like I was actually one of the responders that was working not as a first responder, but I was in the computer tech at that point. So in December of 2011, so it happened in September, right? So a few months later, I was working in one of the buildings, cleaning up the wreckage and whatnot. The fire was still burning, man. The fire was still burning. That was September, October, November, December, 4 months.
Wow.
4 months
That's
and the
yes.
fire was still burning. So like being in 11th grade, that obviously resonated that, that was a big thing. So you did that, you had Sandy, like it was one of the main reasons why I went into the military because of the 9/11 impact. And you're seeing all these different things. It leaves a mark. But at the same time, what legacy are you leaving? What changes are you making? Michael Jackson once said, "You start with the man in the mirror."
That's right. Yourself. Just look at yourself and
Gotta start with
change.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's
So
even the band Faithless, I used to listen to them back in the day. They have a song that has the lyrics, "How can I change the world if I can't even change myself?"
yeah.
Uh, I think that's the one that's called "Take the Long Way Home" or something like that.
Hmm.
They actually have that in the lyrics, and that always stuck with me. And
Yeah.
that's a really awesome thing. So what I'm going to do is after the call, please do give me all the links to get in touch with you to get onto your coaching programs, and I'll put it into the description of this podcast so that the audience, if they need some assistance, if they want to get into a good college, if they just want some life guidance, they can contact you because from what I hear here today, you're the genuine thing. You're the genuine article, and uh, this
Thank you, man.
this is
I
this
appreciate
is
it.
real coaching right here. This is not get rich quick coaching. This is real coaching. All right. All right.
Man,
So
there's no such thing as a get rich quick scheme. You got to put in
yeah,
the hours. It's the same thing. Like you want a six pack, I can draw you one, or you can really earn it. And
Yeah,
I
I
ain't
need to
got no
work on that. I
success.
currently have a family
Me too,
pack.
man.
I have a family
Yeah,
pack
I
right
got
now.
the dad bod, and I'm proud of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, I call it, I call it the workers' callus.
Okay, cool. No, so
Yeah,
good.
because yeah. So
Um,
I had at one point in time been there, done that. Not interested. No, I'm kidding. Health is important, like that's actually my goal as well. Being an athlete, too many surgeries, and now I'm like, well, I'm past my prime. I guess it's time to go through and you live through it as somebody else vicariously. So that's what I'm like, oh, yeah, I just trained that guy to jump and dunk. I'm like, I can't do it, but at least he can. I helped him. Yeah, so like it's an unhealthy thing, man. But like, hey, I'm doing it. I'm doing it through you. Don't worry about it, right? It's like the parents forcing their kids to do gymnastics because they were never able to do it. So it's like, yeah, you're
yeah,
gonna do gymnastics. Yeah.
yeah,
So I was like, but at least I'm like, I'm not forcing anybody to do it. You're coming to me, so I'm gonna live through you. We got this.
yeah. Maybe you and I could come up with a dad bod health program for 2025.
You know what? Uh, it's funny that you're mentioning it. One of my degrees is actually in exercise science, and I've been doing like that's one of the things that I started with. Like I was a fitness instructor, and now it's like they look at me as like, how is this ball going to be a fitness instructor? I mean, I mean, looking at here, not at here. Yeah, the
Yeah,
knowledge is the
read the
power, man.
book, not the cover, man.
Yes, exactly. It's the inside that matters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cool. Also, thank you so much for being on the show. You've brought a lot of value and it was a great episode. I know you've already given the audience so much, but do you have any final words, a message, wisdom, or value you want to leave with them?
absolutely. I said to everybody, whether they're a client or a student, the only thing you have to fear is fear itself. Stop being afraid. When we are stopping being afraid of making choices, we are opening doors. And when you open doors, you open possibilities, right? Dream and build. And you can't do that if you're afraid. Right? You got to come out. You got to come out of your shell. You got to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do. And the only thing that is going to be controlling you is fear, then you're not going to build anything. Don't be that piggy that is afraid of building the bricks. Put in the work, right? Otherwise, you're going to have your sticks and the wolf's going to blow down, and now you're definitely going to be afraid of something. So the only thing you have to be afraid of is fear itself.
That's so good. So yeah, walk through the door that's open in front of you. Or if the doors aren't open, if there isn't a door, build one out. Uh,
Yeah, listen, a lot of people don't realize it, but when one door closes, that means that it wasn't supposed to happen. You're going to be closing it, another one opens right up. They had clients be like, "Oh my God, I worked so hard, I didn't get the job." Something else coming. Trust,
yeah,
trust.
that wasn't
And
meant to
they
be.
had,
Yeah,
yeah, it wasn't meant to be. And then they call me and like, "Oh man, I just landed $150,000 job. How'd you do that?" "Oh, I waited. Good thing's gonna come."
fantastic. Thank you for
Yeah,
that value. And everyone remember, check the description. All links are there. And yeah, make something great of your life. And always remember to dream big and build bigger. Until next time. Cheers, everyone. Bye.